wake up. Miss, you're finally awake. The entire city was so worried about you. What? Where am I? Who are you? What year is it? You're at your humble home, my lady, and the most notable journalist of the 17,000s. The best interviewer the country could ever ask for. You went missing a few months ago, and we were all so worried. We looked everywhere for you. Fortunately, we found you laying in those cold, ugly, disgusting slums last night. Thankfully, you're now conscious. Well, with minor memory losses, as the doctor said. They tried their best to nicely patch you up. Notable writer, huh? $17,000s. Aren't the only people who own places like this are big business owners? What, kind of paperwork did I publish to get this much money? Nonetheless, this, butler who's serving me... Hold on, wait. Do I have more than one? My lady? Oh, sorry, it's, been a rough day. Would you like some tea? Oh, sure. So, it's Lillian. Ah, yes, Lillian. How are things? What do you mean exactly? I mean, who's running this place, you know? Don't be silly. You're the owner of this fine establishment. Oh no, I meant this country, silly. To be all honest, we're being run by a group of people who are not born from the royal bloodline. It seems quite odd now that I think about it. There was a outburst of savage civilians months ago, altering the government to what you see today. Ah, I see. A democratic government, hey? My lady, please excuse me for my rudeness, but what is a democratic government? Have the people once rioted for another bad outcome? What new insight do you have for us? Oh, well, it depends on the way you look at it. At least the new rulers are chosen by the people and are made up by the people. It must be a lot better than, having one supreme ruler such as a king or queen who is automatically given to us through bloodline. That way the ruling party actually understands who they are ruling, because they are from the people who are being ruled. From my own understanding, the king or queen, often see themselves above everyone else, descended from God, maybe even above the law. Nevertheless, by having a new government like this, there's now something called the rule of law that wasn't present before. Everybody is held accountable for their actions, and everybody is equal under said law. There can't be any alterations of the law by any means of a higher power, which in this case would be the old king or queen. In addition, if, two individuals were to commit the same crime, they would equally receive the same punishment. In other words, individual rights express to what degree individualism can be maintained. You always have such good insight, my lady. Yes, and it's totally not because I'm from the future and have the power of the vast information available in Google. Ah, well, it's just intuition, Lillian. More so, this democratic government also provides more security for all of society, instead of, the main rulers, a term I deem collective security. This way, we don't have people dying all over the place. I wouldn't be so sure about that one, my lady. What do you exactly mean? Well, you see, while you were unconscious for the past months, the government has fallen off the cliff, as you could phrase it. At the start of everything, it was running as smoothly as it could have ever ran. People were happy, or what it seemed like. But after what I've taken away from observations, the government doesn't really care about anything else. They provide just enough security for everyone to stay alive, but other than that, not more. They're really in it for the money. I have walked by the slums a few times myself to purchase some groceries, but there doesn't seem to be enough government intervention. They are not being active enough in our society. That's probably why so many lower class people are continuing to, struggle while the rich continue to get out of hand with their wealth. I even heard some people saying they want to revert back to the original, I believe you coined it, a monarchy. At least we got some food back then, is what I heard one of the factory workers say. I see. But say, Lillian, why are you observing the lower class? Shouldn't, someone like you not worry about others in society now that you're practically well off? Well, you always taught us to never see ourselves as higher ups and to remain humble. And it seems like I have taught you well. I think I need to go write an article. Would you like to come along for this one too? It would be a great honor to be by your side again. Very well. Let's go. Is there something wrong, my lady? Sorry, I think I lost a lot more than just for it to be conceived as minor memory loss. It's okay. I will still be loyal to you regardless if you remember our past together or not. Thanks, Lillian. You're a real one, even in these times. Well, my lady, where are we going first? Let's look around the neighborhood first before we start venturing far. Alright, you probably don't remember your way around, so I'll lead the way. Try to keep up. Very well, lead the way. This is the home of Arcanite. He's the owner of Columbine, a high-class coffee boutique. I've gone in there multiple times to purchase their finest brew. Now that I think about it, you pull a lot of all-nighters. I'm extremely worried about your health. Sorry, I'll try to sleep a little early. Sometimes it's the risk I have to take to make sure things are done on time. Please forgive me. You are forgiven.
Why, hello, if it isn't, my somewhat neighbor and her, butler?
It's actually... Oh, hi there.
Hello, it's been such a long time since I've seen you, my good neighbor. What brings you to my humble home? You want to come in for some coffee?
Oh, sure.
Wonderful. Please make yourself at home.
Hey, who's this guy again? Arcanite? Should we be scared? And is it bad and mildly uncomfortable? What does he mean by good neighbor? Have we been here before? Wait, what are our relations? Also, hey, he doesn't have any right to look down on my so-called butler. You're my best friend more than anything. We've been here once for a small gathering. Or, well, what he deemed was a small gathering. Roughly 300 people. Take that as you will. Otherwise, we stayed out of everyone's way that night. We were barely even noticeable to the naked eye, which was great since we didn't even want to be there. I think it was more of a, look at how much money I made from becoming the biggest coffee company in the country party. Like, who does this man think he is? Not only did he put out, Carnation Creation, but he also put out every single coffee cafe out of business. I'm sorry to put this bluntly, but his coffee isn't that great. It's just really expensive. Wait, this 4'3" small human, sorry if that was offensive, was the one who put out Carnation Creation out of business. My favorite coffee store? You're telling me he put out this amazing mom and pop shop just because he was selling expensive and imported coffee? Unfortunately, that is correct, my lady. He seemingly wiped out all the competition that was present before and took over at a rapid pace. I'm sorry. It's okay, Lillian. It wasn't your fault. There was nothing you could do. It's fine. It's going to be alright. Thank you, my lady. You always seem to cheer me up when I need it the most. Of course, I'm not like these greedy and selfish cash grabbers. Would you like to go in, my lady? Okay, here's the plan. Let's just say we have some questions for him. You know, interview things. Don't touch anything unless he is happy to allow us to. You stay behind me, I'll do all the talking. Deal? Sounds like a deal to me. Hi there. Yes, you're that famous writer. We know all about you. Your writing is amazing and it has helped us in the great dire times.
That's right, we've been reading your articles since we've worked here.
Oh, thanks. It's, such an honor to have such praise. I, truly write for the people. But what is someone as humble like you doing in this disgusting home? Well, actually, I'm here to interview Arcanite for my new article, and, actually, would you mind if I interview you guys too? Okay, first thing is, why are you guys working here? Are you being paid well?
Well, in all honesty, we were promised good living quarters.
And what do you think compelled him to ask you for to work for him? Why do you think he asked you guys specifically? Well, I think it's because he saw us as his loyal consumers and just wanted to reward us by letting us work for him. I mean, we're getting paid, but... Well, from what I can concur, after reading your articles, I think he is exploiting his consumers. Firstly, he used our loyalty to get some free servants. Secondly, I think he even increased the prices of his special blend during rush hour, just so he can make more cash to fuel his home. To think that all of this was made out of our hard-earned money, it's really sad.
Yeah, and you know what's the worst part? We don't even get as much money as the other much older servants in this house. And even that, the parts of town where I used to live, they were not as prestigious as this one. I mean, Arcanite probably has stacks and stacks of money. Probably has enough money to spare. My community could really use that money to help build some more houses, or to improve the quality of life. But I guess income isn't completely distributed properly or fairly. What's happening back there? Stop distracting my guests.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
Go, shoot. I apologize for the inconvenience. Those four never know to shut their mouths. Anyhow, take a seat. Sit wherever you want. So, what brings you to my humble home, fellow entrepreneur?
Actually, I'm a writer.
A writer, you say? What do you go by?
Oh, I'm just a writer.
Very well. I'm not up to date on writers anyway, but the question still stands. What can I do to help you?
Well, I mean, would it be okay if I asked you some questions? There is a chance you'll end up in my new article.
Why would that be any importance to me? That's all interviewers do anyway, using us rich people to make free cash.
Well, you see, there's a high probability you'll get some more customers if you answer some of my questions.
Well, color me intrigued. What can I answer for you, my dear publisher?
Firstly, Mr. Arcanite, what would you rate your standard of living? 1 out of 10.
Oh boy. Now, I don't want to seem cocky, but ever since I started up my coffee brand, it has increased quite substantially. I mean, look at this place. My coffee was able to buy me this house and has been able to sustain me for months. Isn't that amazing? So I'd rate myself a cool 11.
I see. Moving on, is the income very consistent? Are you, gaining a consistent income from your business?
In all honesty, there have been some fluctuations. There have been good weeks where I got a good pay. However, in other weeks, not so good. It's like there are big dips or depressions, you could call them, where the pay is significantly lower when you compare them alongside the other weeks. A business like mine can be quite unstable, but it's alright, I guess. The pay averages out, and it keeps me alive.
Ah, I see. How about your economic liberty? How has that been since the change of the government system?
It's been pretty good. Since us higher ups are allowed practically anything we want, we can practically do whatever we want. We can make our own decisions, such as pursue our self interest, which lets us exercise our liberties and freedoms that we now have under a democratic government. I feel like I've been released from these chains since the monarchy was destroyed. Ah, what a wonderful luxury, am I right?
Easy for you to say. You practically have all the money in the world. I swear you could probably build a huge pyramid that can sustain your own ego with, all that cash and gold. And that's saying a lot about you as a person I just met almost 5 minutes ago. Aha, yeah. Anyway, this is the last question.
Very well. Make sure it's a good one.
Alright, how was it like opening a business in such a new field of products? I knew there was, a few coffee cafes around before, but what was it like? And how has it helped your business grow?
It was quite hard starting out. Just trying to source good quality product, come up with good advertisements, the basics of every sort company or business. However, with the competition that was already present, it motivated me to start innovating and to look for different yet unique methods that would make my brand stand out from the rest. I don't think I've ever been so productive in my life. The underlying drive to pursue my dreams, the motivation, and the sheer amount of interest I had in coffee, it was, and still is, an amazing experience for me. I was able to change my life around, and look where it got me. After that, I was even able to give some of the lower lives a job, and that helped me grow my business even more, which in turn let me give out even more jobs. Now, I don't want to sound too egotistical, but without me, I don't think this country would have had as much of an economic spike, or growth you can call it, without my business. Why do you think there were so many job opportunities opened up a few months ago? It was all because of me. I did that. And look what it got me. Look what it got them. I made society a better place, and you know it.
And done. Well, thank you for answering our questions, but I think we're going to have to take our leave. You know us writers, we're quite busy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Glad I was able to help. If you ever need anything, just come by. You two are always welcome. Door's just that way.
Oh, don't worry about it. We can get out ourselves. Thank you again. Thank you. Wow, just look at this place. It is quite lovely, isn't it? Because of new job opportunities and economic growth, more people have moved here from the countryside. There's now a major urbanized area where most of the workers live. However, the living spaces aren't so good, or the conditions. I used to live somewhere around here before you took me under your wing. That might actually be useful for this article. If you're comfortable, why don't you tell me more, Lillian? Yikes. I didn't even know a place like this existed. Unfortunately, neither does the government, or well, anybody really. This used to be a place for conversation, a nice and peaceful park. However, ever since the government system was created by the people, there have been a lot of drastic changes when it comes to the lower class. The majority, as you stated. Due to the big businesses getting extremely wealthy really fast, they have gone extremely rich and well off. I bet they could fill an ocean if they combine all their wealth together, which seems like a great thing individually, but the natural environment that used to once thrive and be full of life is now dull and filled with garbage and waste. Big owners like Aconite don't care if the planet dies or if what you called climate change is even a real thing. At the end of the day, it's about adding more and more money to his already filled pockets. And you know what's cute? The government doesn't even care. They just let this happen underneath their noses. It's like they don't even care about the natural environment being destroyed, coin by coin. They just let big owners exploit the environment because they can do whatever they want. Don't get me wrong, having a lot of cash is great and all, but knowing that everyone used to be, well, sort of on the same economically, it just sucks. Everything has gone out of hand. Even the class inequality has. What do you exactly mean? The poor are getting more poor while the rich have it easy and continue their wealthy reign. It's like they've forgotten that other people exist in the society. Even so, yes, they help us by providing job opportunities, but the jobs don't pay well. And it just sucks because there's nothing we can do about it. It's our life, and it was our only choice. I would wake up being crowded in a tiny space with several people. We shared a bathroom, a single bathroom. Once it was my turn, I would get dressed with my limited wardrobe and walk to work. I was barely being paid enough. Definitely not enough to even buy the crustiest bread at the store. After getting ready for work, I would walk. I would walk by so many people, getting bumped into, even pushed sometimes. Nevertheless, I felt so behind. I remember walking by Aconite's shop multiple times on my way to the factory, and how I felt so poor and out of place. It was like there was nothing I could do to change my life. I wasn't even born wealthy, nor did I have the resources to start up my own business. I remember the feeling. I remember the smell of coal and sweat. I remember how painful my body felt as I heaved it around. I was being overworked, but it was my only choice. I had food to get, and bills to pay. But you know what hurts more? Seeing all the children being employed. They were so small and so innocent. I didn't know what the inside of a child's brain looked like until it was smashed apart by a moving loom. The bruises and marks we were given if we didn't obey and do what we were asked to. There were no workers' rights, and there still isn't. Nothing has changed. Everything has gotten worse for us, and better for them. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you had it that rough. I'm sorry that I couldn't do anything for you. You've done more than enough. I finally feel like I belong, and you never see people as higher or lower than you economically or just socially. You care about everyone you see, and you treat them with kindness and respect. I should be the one being sorry, because I could never return the life that you've given me. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And thank you for staying by my side. Why don't we go? We have an article to write.